Hello viewers, welcome to UN Autonomous College. Today we are going to discuss about a new concept that is known as signals and traps in Unix concept. We know that whenever user want to process any type of data in the Unix operating system, in that moment we are getting lots of signals and relevant to traps. And how to know which type of signals are performed in which time and what are the different type of traps are related to our Unix system. Today we are going to learning about it. Now we can focus on a slide. So in this slide we are going to discuss what are the different types of outlines related to a topic which is already mentioned in this slide, that is known as introduction about the signals and traps. Then we are learning what is the meaning of list of signals, default actions related to Unix, then sending signals, last but not least here trapping signals. Then how to process this type of signals according to user requirement. First of all, we can discuss what is the real meaning of this signal trapping process. Here the signals are software interrupts sent to a program to indicate that an important event has occurred. Even that means whenever user want to gives any type of instructions to operating system, and that type of instructions somehow related to our interrupts. So this type of interrupts sent to a program to indicate that an important event which are occurred at the time of processing. So here the events can vary from user request to illegal memory access errors. Whenever user can process their relevant activity, in that moment we are getting some memory access errors. Whenever that memory access errors are created, in that moment user is never aware about its processing capability. So that here the events are always varies according to the user request. Whenever user can give a request that may be somehow different to another type of request. That means each and every type of request somehow related to that is known as interrupts. Whenever that interrupts is occurred, in that moment system takes some action. So according to that software interrupts which are sent from a program to our Unix system according to user invocation method. So here some signals also known as some interrupt signals which are indicate that a user has asked the program to do something that is not in the usual follow-up control. That means some interrupt signals is not related to our topic relevant. That's why this type of signals must indicate one indication to a specific type of program, irrelevant user. So that if you want to process it, then it takes some time, and it is always depends on some flow of control. Whenever that a flow of control is deviated, in that moment we are getting an error. So that which type of signals are used to process the instruction and what are the different type of signals are not relevant to our creating our system message. So that this type of messages or signals somehow related to our Unix system. Next slide we are going to discuss what are the different type of signals name were used in our Unix system. So here the following table list out common signals you might encounter and want to use in our programs. So here we have some signals name that is known as SIGUP, means SIOP. See here the SIOP is known as a signal 1 number. Here it is used for hang up detected on controlling terminal or death of controlling process. Whenever this kind of events are processed, in that moment this SIOP signal is required. That means if a system is in the death mode, that means is abnormally behaving, in that moment we need for a system controlling activity. In that moment we must take up that SIOP signal name, and which is the priority is known as 1. Similarly another signal name as a SIGINT, SIGINT. So in this type of signal is number is known as a 2. So it is used for, or we can say issued if the user send an interrupt signal, that is known as a control C. If a user want to do something activity like controlling or printing or pasting or selecting more text in their document, in that moment you are getting this type of signal that is known as SIGINT, SIGINT. So this signal is generally created whenever user giving any type of signals like interrupts through keyboard like control C, control V, control A, and relevant control J, control X. So this type of signals are provided through SIGINT. Similarly another type of signal named as a SIGQUIT, SIGQUIT. So it is known as a signal interrupt name. So in this signal it is number 3. So it is issued if the user sends a quit signal. Whenever that quit signal is forwarded, in that moment it is always denoted through CTRL plus D. By using this command, or that is known as shortcut key, it can create a quit signal to process. That means we need to end the way of processing. That means to abort the processing from one user side to server side, whatever we can say. So next signal known as a SIG-FEZ, or we can say FEE. So in this type FEE signal, this number known as 8, so it is specially issued if an illegal mathematical operations is attempted. We know that whenever user doing any type of mathematical activity, in that moment some mathematical activity somehow show some errors at the time of processing. So that this type of operations show some type of errors. So this type of errors must be controlled by using this signal that is known as SIG-FEE. By using this signal, we can getting on one error message, that means which error is related to our mathematical relevant. So this type of mathematical relevant errors are already displayed in our system with the help of this interrupt signal. So this interrupt signal is the most efficiently used at the time of processing. The next interrupt signal known as SIG-kill. So SIG-kill is known as another signal name, is number known as 9. So if a process gets this signal, it must quit immediately and will not perform any cleanup operations. So if a user want to close whole activity in our processing system, in that moment we must send this type of signal that is known as SIG-kill signal. By using this signal, we can immediately close whole relevant programs which are opened in our system. At the time, it will not perform any cleanup operations. That means it is not allowed to clear any type of buffer or cache memory in this Unix system. So in that moment, we can take the help of this SIG-kill signal name. Next signal known as a SIG-ALRM. So this method, or we can say this signaling name, is number known as a 14. By using it is a technique through which you can make it as the alarm clock signal. By using this alarm clock signal, which is used for the timers, by using this signal process, we can easily maintain the whole processing activity in our Unix system. Next signal we are learning here, that is known as SIG-TORM. By using this SIG-TORM signal is named as the one signal name, and here number known as a 15. So here the software termination signal. By using this software termination signal, which is used to send by kill by default. Whenever this signal is forwarded, we need to kill the whole process activity. If user is not aware about this processing activity, it can show an error. So that if a user want to close the whole software termination signal, in that moment we need to kill it. That means we can forcefully close the whole processing activity, so that we can invoke this signal. So it is a signals which are relevant to our Unix processing system. Next we are going to discuss what are the some list of signals are used in our Unix processing system. So there is an easy way to list down all the signals supported by your system. So just issue the kill, and that means we can write a $kill then -l. By using this command, we can press enter. In that moment, it can display all relevant signals which are used in our Unix system. So that if a user want to display or know about what are the different type of signals which are used in a Unix system, we can take the help of this kill then space -l. By using this method, we can list out what are the different type of signal interrupts using in our Unix system. We can easily collect information about it. But in the previous slide, we are only learning some general input interrupt signals which are related to our Unix system. So here, this command helps to display all supported signals which are used in our Unix system. The first, whenever user can open the Unix prompt, in that moment user can write $, then can give space, then can write a command like kill, then space, then -l. Whenever this statement is written, then we can press enter. Whenever user can press an enter, it can execute some relevant signals which are relevant to our system. So here first signal name as SIG hop HUP, then SIG int, then SIG quit, then SIG ill, then SIG trap, then SIG abrt, then SIG boss, then SIG FEE, then SIG kill, then SIG USR1, and some relevant signals which are opened by using this command that is known as kill -l. Whenever that command somehow opened, we are also getting some signals which are repeatedly used according to its number or version. But here we can look out, that is known as SIG RT MIN +1, then SIG RT MIN +2, That means this is known as a one priority of that signals. And the one we have incremented 2, then 3, then 4, and this version is incremented up to at least we can say 15. That means whenever this signal incremented, that means we can say that this signal contains this kind of priority. According to that priority, we can focus on that signal movements. So that if a user is not aware about it, in that moment we must create a signal relevant information which are related to our topic. If this section is not successfully opened or closed, in that moment we never getting any kind of interrupt versions. If a user is not aware about it, we never getting any type of information somehow related to our Unix operating system. So that these relevant signals are easily performed in our Unix operating system. So next slide we are going to discuss what are some default actions are used. So here every signal has a default action which is associated with it. The default, or we can say default action for a signal is the action that a script or program performs when it receives a signal. Whenever user is never getting any kind of signals or actions, in that moment it is not behaving any type of activity. So that if user is not aware about it, then it can create some relevant information which are related to our topic. So that if a user is not aware about some actions, in that moment we are getting some default actions. Then what are the default actions are used in our Unix system? We are learning here 5 type of default actions, such as the first one known as a terminate the process, second one known as ignore the signal, third one known as a dump core, then which is known as this creates a file which is called as a core containing the memory image of the process when it receives the signal. So these are some signal actions which are used in our Unix system. The fourth one known as a stop the process. Whenever user want to close that process activity, in that moment we can use this stop the process statement or signal. The next one known as a continue a stopped process. If a user want to process a resume process or resume program, in that moment we can invoke this continue a stop process. Whenever user can invoke this statement, it can automatically invoke one statement like that is known as a terminate, ignore, dump core, stop the process, continue a stop process. These 5 activities are automatically executed in our Unix prompt. So the next slide we are going to discuss how to sending some signals by using this kind of signaling technique. So here we have several methods are used in our Unix system for delivering signals to a program or script. So one of the most common is for a user to type Control-C or the interrupt key while a script is executing. Whenever user want to execute a script, in that moment user must give a command like Control-C. Whenever that Control-C command is executed, which is the part of interrupt key, and through that key we are getting some scripting environment by using that scripting environment which are related to our executing process. So that when you press the Control+C key, then a SIZ int is sent to the script, and as per defined default action, script terminates. If a user want to press Control+C, that means user want to just copying some text in their environment to another environment. In that moment we can press a key, and that key known as a Control+C. By using that key we can copying some text from a specific environment to another type of environment. So here that Control+C is executed. The next one known as a SIZ int. By using this signal which is sent to the script as per the defined default action, script terminates. Whenever this command is executed, automatically the open script is closed. That means it is automatically terminated. Whenever that script is terminated, in that moment we are getting this kind of signaling, and that is known as a sending signaling part which are relevant to our topic. In the next slide we are going to discuss what are some different parts are related to our topic, that is known as the other common method for delivering signals is to use the kill command, because you know that whenever user can invoke this kill command, we are getting all the interrupt signals which are related to our topic. So here we have a syntax that is known as, we can use like your $ space kill, then hyphen, just we can write L. In that moment it can gives a signal PID, that means we can write here hyphen signal PID. In that moment this signal is either the number or we can say it is the name of that interrupt signal of the signal which used to deliver, and the PID is the process ID. And if a user want to write that signal name, instead of this signal we can write that name. Otherwise we can also use like a number, and that number is known as a PID, and that PID gives a process ID number. By using this process ID number, which provides a signal, should be sent to, for example, just we can say we can use $ space kill then space -1, or we can write the number like 1001. So this above command sends the HUP signal interrupt, or we can say it is a hang up signal to the program that is running with the process ID 1001. That means we need to hang up that process. That means we have a tax ID or process ID, we can say also job ID, that is known as 1001. By using that ID we can make it as a hang up. So to send a kill signal to the same process, use the following command like $kill space -9, then we can give space 1001. So this kills the process running with the process ID 1001. By using this command we can easily open that program overall, then we can easily also close that process according to that user requirement. Whenever that requirement is not successfully opened, in that moment we need to kill that process by using this kill command. Through kill command we can invoke which type of signals need to close that whole process. We can mentioning the name, and that name is -9, 1, 8, 14, 15, whatever we can write, and which is already discussed what are the different signals containing what are the different ID related to our process Unix system. So next slide we are going to discuss how to trapping some signals. We know that whenever user want to trapping some signals which are already used in our processing part, but somehow this part is mostly used in our Unix system, because you know that whenever user want to process any type of relevant information or some relevant data, in that moment we are getting lots of error and lots of mistaken signals. So that this trapping signals helps to how to easily track the interrupts, and by using that interrupt we easily mentioning some signals event, according to the event we can easily control it. So here in this trapping signal concept we can use the one way of explanation like whenever user can press the command like keys like Ctrl+C, or we can say that is known as a break key at your terminal during the execution of a shell program. So here that normally that program is immediately terminated and your command prompt returns. Whenever user can press Ctrl+C or the break key, automatically that prompt closes to the user front end. So here this may not always be desirable, because user never use this kind of command to close that the whole process. So for instance, you may end up the leaving a bunch of temporary files that won't get clean up, and that cleanup process somehow related to our relevant information. So here that instance you may end up the leaving a bunch of temporary files, and that moment we need to close it. So that if a user need to be closed by using that command like ctrl+c, or we can say break key, according to these two commands we can easily trapping the whole signals which are relevant to our Unix operating system. So if a user want to easily trapping that signal, we must use some syntax. Without that syntax, the user never easily trapping any kind of relevant information. So if a user want to track each and every type of relevant informations which are related to a topic, in that moment we can take the help of this trapping signal. So here the trapping is a one way of explanation through which you can making a beautiful environment through which you can easily track the interrupted signals. We need to be closed forcefully, or we can say normal way. That means just we can say it is known as a mature death of a signal or a process, or immature death of a signal or a process, whatever you can say. So that here the trap helps to tracking the whole signals which are used in our Unix system. So that signal or command can be used through this way, that is known as we can open a command prompt, that is known as a Unix prompt. In that Unix prompt we can write a command like that is known as a trap. First of all we can write a $, then we can give space, then we can write a command like trap, then also we can put here space, then we can write which type of command should be executed in our Unix prompt. We need to close it, and that trap signal can be displayed in this way. So here by using this trap signal, we need to open another environment in that Unix prompt. So in that Unix prompt we must be open. So here that command can be any valid Unix command. That means whenever user is never use any type of valid Unix command, in that moment the trap signal or trap command cannot be successfully executed. So that if a user want to execute that trap signal, we must be aware about it. So here this command can be any valid Unix command or even a user defined function. If a user defined function can be used here, in that moment the signals can be a list of any number of signals you want to trap. If a user want to trapping, what are the different types of signals are used, in that moment we can take the help of this signaling environment. So this signaling environment is so beautiful way to behaving in our Unix operating system, so that we are using two way to mentioning that trapping in our Unix prompt, so that we have some common uses of trap, and the trap command is specially used in our shell scripts. So in that shell script we are behaving two way of application or operation, like clean up temporary files, then ignore signals. If a user want to clean up what are the different type of temporary files used in our Unix system, then we can use this statement here, like your trap. As well as this trap also helps to ignore what are the different type of signals open in our Unix prompt. And this way of explanation, and by using that explanation we can easily getting an environment through which you can ignore what are the different relevant informations are used in our Unix prompt. If a user want to process this kind of trapping, or we can say signaling movements, by using this trapping we can easily trap all type of interrupt signals which are used in a Unix system. According to this trap signal we can easily make it clear, or we can say close what are the interrupts are opened in our Unix prompt. So that this type of activity is somehow related to our task manager. We know that in our system we have one option like task manager. In the task manager can shows what are the different tags are opened in our Unix prompt, so that if a user want to select a specific tags, which tags want to be closed immediately, in that moment we can take the help of this trap. As well as we can take the help of the command like kill. By using this two way we can making a whole environment which are relevant to our user relevant environment, and that must be processed in our Unix prompt or Unix system. If a user is never use this kind of signals, we never easily track or trap this kind of signals which are specially used on Unix prompt. Okay, finally thank you, have a nice day. If you have any type of query, please you try to send to our comment box. Thank you.